Good evening, everybody. This is episode 345 of the Overseas Connection.
You nearly forgot what podcast you're on, didn't you?
No, I was doing the Veteran Gamers thing. Way 345. Woo! It's November 14th, 2015. This is the Overseas Connection. We've been going a long time. We've got some old school people in tonight. We do have another person showing up soon. Hopefully, they're having some technical difficulties, like Jurassic Park does every time. Starting off, I'm your host this evening. I'm very sorry. My name's Richard. I am Big Bad Daddy on Steam and Twitter and a few other places. Just above me on the screen here, we're live on Twitch as we are every week, 11 PM UK time. We have Mark Annex. Say hello.
Hello, Mark Wright, aka Marcanix. Marcanix on PSN, Xbox Live, Steam, and Twitters. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all well.
Yeah, not too bad. Growing a bit of a goatee for Movember for the lovely viewers to see. It's not very impressive, so I won't talk about it again. Tonight's special guest, Mark.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this special guest tonight?
Oh, over the moon.
You should be afraid.
Yeah.
Be very afraid.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
He's one of the old Overseas Connection folk. You may know him as Christopher Matthew.
Hello.
Yeah, I forgot about the drum roll.
We planned this, Rich. We planned this.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, everybody. Chris Matthew, CP Matthew on PSN, Steam, OC_CP Matthew on Twitter. Still holding on to that one. I think maybe CPM1376 on Xbox Live. I haven't been on there in a while. Yeah, I think your beard is very impressive, Rich. Don't undersell yourself. It's a thing of grace and beauty.
It's not too bad. The ladies love it.
Jumps on his bed and licks it off.
The ladies like it. By the ladies, I mean nobody. Even my girlfriend can't look at me. It's quite a shambles, really, to be honest. She might be listening now as well, so hello if you are. That's the most loving hello I've ever heard in my life. Tonight we've got a great show tonight. I think, guys, we've got some new games that have come out this week. We're going to
just a couple of small releases.
Yeah, just a couple of blips on the radar in this dry season of games. As we know, nothing's come out this week at all, really, the last couple of weeks. So we're going to be talking about that. We've got some news. We've got some big news. Nintendo Direct happened this week, so we're going to be talking about that. We've got no trivia this week from Jason Johnson, unfortunately, so I'm going to do a back of the box for the guys here for a game I've got in my cupboard, yet to be announced. Well, let's just kick it off, Ace, for what we've been playing. So I think we'll kick off with you, Mark. What have you been playing?
Yeah, still plodding along with The Witcher 3. Just cracking along that main storyline. Did a bit at the weekend, but it's... You think you're just doing a small quest, but they turn out to be really long, and it sort of like expands, and you have to go this place, you have to go that place. So not a lot's changed since last time I talked about it, so still cracking on with that. But the big thing is, on Tuesday, this superb game came out called Rise of a Tomb Raider, which me and Greg managed to part purchase each, which was a nice bonus.
Joint purchase?
Yeah, $30 each for the top-of-the-line edition with all the DLC.
Bargain, mate.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Bargain. So, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, this is the sequel to the reboot that came out 2 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a sequel to the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider, which was a fantastic game, and I think it was Greg's Game of the Year that year. It was definitely my top 5. It were a lot of people's Game of the Year that year. Superb game. The Rise of a Tomb Raider, this starts off with a young Lara again, but she's obviously, with her experiences in the previous game, she's not more experienced, she's more tougher, she wants to prove that her father's theory is correct about this ancient artifact, which he was obsessed about, but the media slated him, which he sadly took his life. That's sort of like the premise of the game. It's not spoilers or anything. Yeah. So she sets on these quests to sort of like prove that he was right all along. The new Lara in this game, like I say, she's tougher, she's stronger, she's very determined. In the last game, when she hurt herself, she was crying a lot and wincing a lot. She's hard as nails in this game. You can tell she's seasoned now. She's a proper badass in this game. just in the first opening mission before you get to the open world bit, it's just a roller coaster. I think this might be what you're playing now on the stream. Yeah, the first opening, like half an hour of a game, it just grips you straight away, which is what you want in a game.
Yeah, definitely.
Something what grabs you so early on, you know you're going to enjoy it all the way through. I've put, oh God, probably about 8 hours into it already, and not once have I been bored or done anything repetitive. It's been fantastic all the way through.
Yeah. Well, what I'm showing now on the stream, just in case people are worried about spoilers, it's one of the tombs. This is actually a quick look from the guys at Giant Bomb. So hello to them. Great podcast. So he's running through one of the tombs. Now, this was a big thing about the first Tomb Raider. People complained that there weren't a lot of tombs, because in the original games, you had loads. In this game, they're all back, aren't they?
Yep. Once you're in the open world part, the game's really huge. In the last game, I think there's 3 additional tombs altogether in the whole game. Right. In this game, you've got all your different areas like you had last time with your base camps. But in some of them, that big, you've got like 2 or 3 base camps in one area, and you've got a minimum of 3 extra optional tombs in each area.
Okay.
And at the moment, I've unlocked 4 areas, and I'm nowhere near halfway through the game. So that's 12 extra tombs already. And as well as the tombs, there's also crypts. You can go into these crypts and get the extra treasures in there. So there's a lot to do, and apart from that, there's loads of other collectibles. There's sort of like, we call them challenges for each area. And remember the first game, you had to, in one of the areas, you had to shoot them little totem things off trees and stuff. There's stuff like that there's different ones, and there's side missions now. There's various NPCs what'll have like sort of like the stripes above them, like a army stripe thing. And you can go to them, they'll give you an extra mission, and they give you some really good rewards.
Okay.
One of the rewards I got from one of the side missions was a lockpick, because some of the chests, what you find, and lockers, have got extra chains and padlocks on, you can't open them. So if you do the side mission, you get a lockpick, and you can get some really cool stuff.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at it now visually. This is Xbox One visuals. I mean, it looks fantastic.
It looks amazing. Yeah. To quote the Game Punchers, the controls are brilliant and feels tight. Graphically, it's amazing. It's got superb effects and little touches to it. You know, when she's like crawling over something, you get the full animation as if she's properly struggling to squeeze through something. It's not just a quick up and over. It's really well animated.
Yeah.
So little touches like that, and the sound's amazing on it. When she's in the tunnels, about the echoing, when you've got a headset on, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks.
Mark, what system are you playing this on? You might have said that.
Xbox One, yeah.
Xbox One. Okay.
Yeah.
This is it's Xbox One timed exclusive. So for anyone who wants to play it, it's coming on PC. They said like early 2016.
Yeah.
PS4. When's that?
Holiday next year.
Holiday next year. Yeah. So it's like a timed exclusive for a little bit. Yeah, we've got a little guest on the show. Let's switch back to the old Skype view, and we can see.
Yeah. So
hang on, Mini Chris.
With the tombs, the first few quite simple to do, run-of-the-mill tombs, a bit like the ones in the last game.
Yeah.
But then you get some more complex ones, and they are really, some of them are quite challenging, but they're not that difficult where you think, sod it, I'm not going to do it. Do you know in the last game you had the rope arrows where you shoot the arrow and you pull a rope and you can pull things up?
Yeah.
They utilise that a lot better in this game. In one of the tombs, you have to pull like buckets to pull under waterfalls to fill up to do counterbalance weights and everything.
Okay.
So there's a lot of that, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Seems like they're using like physics-based things, but in a unique way.
So. Yeah, yeah.
Rather than just for the sake
of the puzzle elements. Yeah.
No, it definitely looks really good. I think is this? Do you think this could be a contender for Game of the Year?
Oh, definitely. I've only, like I said, I've only got about 8 hours into it so far, and I think this will definitely be in my top 5. Absolutely.
Okay. For anyone who's forgotten, this was Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes if I'm listening to a podcast, I might like daydream for a minute, and they're talking about they're talking about a game, and I'm like, oh, that sounds ace. What is it? And they never mention it again. So that was Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, come out on Xbox One this week. So that come out.
Yeah, it's out it was out yesterday in the UK and it came out Tuesday for the US. I got to play it a little earlier than the UK peeps because with Greg buying it on the US store, I got to play it Tuesday, so that was cool.
Well, that's all right. Do you know how that works with like regions? Like, do you play the US region version of the game?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if there's actually regions in the games, but I got to play it on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually Wednesday for me because I don't actually get to play it until midnight Greg's time, which is 8 a.m. for me.
Okay.
So that's something to know, innit?
Yeah.
At least I get to play it early.
Yeah, because your long lost brother, which
Yeah.
there's loads of in
All
our
these
community.
Reunited families joining together now to share accounts.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? So that's it. So that's two, mate. Have you been playing anything else this week?
Nope. Every second I've got gaming time after work and before work, it's all been about Lara.
Lara.
Lovely Lara. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Lara.
Yeah.
So
I've just learned that for those of us who are gaming on the PC, that won't be available until quote unquote early 2016.
Yeah.
Bye, buddy.
So, well, we've got Tomb Raider out the way. The other big release this week. Well, first of all, Chris, have you been playing anything other than this massive game? Anything at all?
It's just Chris.
Sorry.
Have you
Little
been,
one was,
have you
little
been
one
playing
was yelling
anything
at me.
that's not this big game?
That's not the big game that we're going to talk about next.
Yeah, have you been playing
No.
anything else? No. Okay.
I finally did the last Skyrim mission,
Yeah.
main mission anyway. Yeah, 4 years later, right on time.
I've hundreds and hundreds of hours. I've never done it. I've never finished it.
I think the motivation for me to finally do it was that the next game the other game was coming out. I was like, I'm not going to play Skyrim anymore after I have this new game, so I better go ahead and do this. That's it, though.
Okay, well, I haven't really been playing anything of note other than some Nintendo stuff, but we'll get into that later on with the news. So let's talk about it this week. On was it November 7th? Was that the release day? Oh no, November 10th. We had Fallout.
November 10th.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, the sequel to the 7-year-old game Fallout 3. From yeah, cheers. Thanks. So it's been 7 years since we've had an official canon Fallout game. The last one was New Vegas. That was kind of like an in-between. So this is Fallout 4. It's from Bethesda. And let's talk about it, Chris. What do you think about it?
I really am impressed by it. First of all, I was just happy that my 4-year-old PC can run it on medium settings without any real issues. I was expecting to have a lot of texture pop in and a lot of slowdowns and frame rates, but it runs on medium settings pretty well. So I was happy with that.
I thought this had made you actually buy a console, a new gen console, but
no.
I wanted to save the $10 and get it on PC. That's the way you got to play it.
I got it on Green Man Gaming, so I got the 25% discount. And really, all the mod support that's been available for all the Bethesda games in the past, I didn't see myself playing this anywhere other than the PC.
Yeah, same, mate. I'm playing it on the PC as well. Slightly old hardware as well. Kind of. I haven't upgraded my graphics for a while, so I'm playing it on like mixture of medium to high, and I've had to cap it at 50 frames because I was getting some weird stutter that it's a bit of an issue. But other than that, pretty smooth, no crashes, everything's been fine. So what do you think about it? Is it the Fallout game you've been waiting for?
It's the Fallout game that we need, but not the Fallout game we did. Never mind. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I really enjoy that they brought some of the elements from Skyrim into it. So the crafting system is very similar to what we had in Skyrim, where you have the armor workstation and the cooking fire, and then they've added the chemistry station and the weapons station and all these different things. So I thought that was great. Once I discovered that I could rebuild the village that you start out in, it's called Sanctuary. That's not a spoiler. It's at the very beginning of the game. Once I discovered that you could rebuild that I spent the next 8 hours doing that. So I haven't gotten very far as missions go.
Yeah.
Because it's like a little crack. Just, oh, I can put this here. And now I can put this here. Oh, and look, now there's someone over there doing that.
I remember that leading up to the game, some people were complaining that they showed off the crafting in the game and the trailers and stuff, and they said, you know, there was a limited sort of places where you could do this, and people were complaining, saying like, oh, it's gonna be shit. There's gonna be like 4 places where you can do this. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've discovered maybe a quarter-ish maybe of the map. There's fucking tons, so many places that you can build stuff.
Yeah, it seems like every village you go to, there's the crafting stations, and then you can build your bases along the way. I've only got the first 2 camps going right now, but you know, you can build a string of camps, and there's this thing called fast travel. I don't know if you've heard of it.
What's quite good as well is that some of the villages and stuff, they're kind of empty and run down. You've got to do them up or whatever. But I found a couple where they were like raider camps, and you kill the raiders, and then you can take that base and use that as a settlement and things like that. So I thought that was really interesting. The crafting itself, if we just touch on that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, is it a bit like Rust, where you build big wall panels, or?
It's very similar to Rust, yeah. It's panel piece building, so it's not quite Minecraft where it's piecemeal, but it's prefabs and parts of walls that you build. But it's very addictive. Like, I'll spend an hour just building and practicing like different things with like connectors, and wasting all my copper on light switches and stuff, and then realizing
how to run the electricity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so deep, like. You go down a rabbit hole if you get into it, and it really does scratch that itch, because I never got into Minecraft, I never got into Rust. I liked them and I appreciated them and stuff like that, but I was never like hooked on it, whereas this is like hooked me. And I think it's because it's something added on and it's not the main game, because you don't have to do it. And if I want to play 4 hours of crafting a cannon, if I don't, I'll just do something else. And what's good about the crafting is you're increasing your ability to craft just by playing the game, because you're picking up the resources all over. And I'm not just talking like picking up the shit off the floor and the little bits of duct tape and stuff. I mean like the weapons and armor. You can eventually, with the perks, you can break that down into bits and bobs to craft as well. So everything's useful. So it's not even tedious. There are a couple of things, I think Chris will agree, things like copper. Adhesive was a bit rare at the start. Ceramic, I ran out of ceramic because there was just no more toilets to smash to bits.
Yeah, there's only so many toilets and coffee mugs available in the post-war America.
Yeah, so if there's one tip with the crafting, I will say, don't build anything that needs power or anything to do with power or connectors unless you mean it, because once you've used that copper, you can't get it back by scrapping it again. And it's kind of rare. But, I mean, it's fun going off on, like, a supply run. I went on one before, about a couple of hours ago. Spent an hour. I only went out to get, like, some ceramic and come back. I was an hour. I did a Super Duper Mart in one of the towns. It was it's very good. So that's the crafting. I mean, you can place buildings, you can place bits of walls, you can place light switches and connect different things. And with the settlement building, it's kind of like a mini game in itself, isn't it? Because you get like you get XP for everything you do, so you're gaining skill points even just by building stuff. But your settlement has to have like food, has to have water, has to have like turrets and stuff for safety. So it's almost like you could just be basically like a town building management game within Fallout. If that's what you want to do, that's what you can focus on. Like I said, you still get XP. What's your favorite thing about the crafting, do you think, Chris?
I think my favorite aspect of the crafting is how customizable the armor and weapons are. The armor especially, because you can do, you have your main armor, but then you also have your chest piece, and then each arm and each leg. So you have 6 different pieces you can customize to have different effects. So you can really customize your armor towards the way you're playing the game, whether you're a melee character or whether you're focusing on guns. So I really like that. I don't think they've had that depth of customization in any of the Bethesda games that I've played previously.
No, and it's fantastic. Like I was saving me perk points. This was me being a noob. I thought with the new perk system, the way it worked was if you wanted a level 3 perk, you needed 3 perk points to unlock it. You don't. You just need the like 3 stars in your main skill. So I've got like gun nuts and stuff, and I made sure I went out to get the gun nut ones and stuff, because you can add all these different scopes, and it's not even really about creating the best gun either. It's about making a gun that works for that job. So you could have a sniper rifle with a great scope, but you can also have a nighttime scope that you can switch on and off. Like you can put the night one on later or take it off. Different magazines as well. Like it's not about the best stuff. Like you can have a magazine that reloads really quickly or has loads of bullets. and eventually I think you can get. There's always like
a trade-off.
Yeah, so it's not always about being the most powerful, and I like that because although it isn't a nice feeling being like a badass in the game, that having those disadvantages and those cruxes to those skills keeps it playable because it's always a challenge. So I think that the crafting level, they've taken this to a whole nother level. And do you know what? All I'm thinking while playing it is I can't wait to see what they do with Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Because they touched on crafting a little bit in Oblivion with making your own spells and stuff, and then they touched on it with the armor. Like you could, I don't know if you played the Shivering Isles, but you could have custom things, didn't you? So it wasn't really crafting, but it was like you customize your own things. They even have it in Morrowind when in Solstheim you could go there and have someone make wolf armor for you. But in this, I mean, it's just something else. So that's the crafting side. I mean, we're not going to talk spoilers about the story or anything, but like out in the wasteland, everyone knows what Fallout 4 is or what Fallout is. It's after nuclear holocaust. Everything's destroyed. I've got to say, Chris, the detail in this world, what they've packed into it, every corner is interesting. There was areas of Fallout 3 where for, ages around there'd be nothing and just boring landscape. But in this, it seems like they've crammed so much into it and everything's interesting. And it reminds me a lot of traversing the lands in Cyrodiil in Oblivion and then playing Skyrim. It was like they had an artist come in and sculpt the land, and that's what they've done in Fallout 4. I think with Fallout 4, everything about it is unique, and every corner it's a different surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, I like they put a lot of details into the different areas, especially the cityscapes. One of the biggest disappointments going back to Fallout 3 was when you finally got to the downtown DC area, it was so blocked off. It was just a bunch of buildings you couldn't go in. It seems like almost every building in the Boston area is either a building you can enter or is a hollow building you can walk into while you're still out in the main world. There's many different ways. I was just playing through one part today and noticed there's like 4 different ways to get where I wanted to go. Could either go up and cross the bridges and go through holes in the wall, or go through tunnels underground. And
can I just ask, is that the factory thing? Was that the factory? Have you done that one yet?
I'm working my way around the factory.
Yeah.
That's like the next main quest mission, but this is sort of to the west of that, near the police station.
Okay, because that factory one, I mean, it looks like something that would Just Cause 2. It's like it's this immense thing, and that is, again, no spoilers, but that is a prime example of what you've just described. There's lots of different entrances, the sewers, the main front door, side doors. You can go up the top. I attacked it without even really knowing where I was going because I was on the quest and I knew that was the building, and I ended up taking out the sides, then going on the roofs, and then up the top of the grate, and then going inside. And it took about 2 hours because there's so many guys and so much to do. And there's a lot of collectibles in this game as well, like little secret things, like the like super weapons and like extra weapons. Have you come across any legendary animals yet?
I have not come across any legendary animals yet. Looking forward to that. I
was traveling to the east towards the ocean, and I was attacked by this legendary bloatfly, and it was just it was intense. It was just like I died. I had to reload and then like just absolutely hammer. Luckily, I've got dog meat on me, which basically acts like a like Operation Human Shield. He's just at the front. I throw grenades and everything at him because I know he can't die, and I stim pack him as well, even though you don't have to because his health regenerates, but I do stim pack him. But yeah, a legendary bloatfly attacked me. I got attacked by a legendary stag, and what you'll find with these legendary animals is they say like legendary bloatfly or whatever, and they just look kind of normal, but when you shoot them, when their health goes down a little bit, they like mutate, and like this radiation comes off them and it says like such and such mutated. So I had this stag. It just looked like a normal deer thing with like 2 heads, normal. And I started shooting it, and when it mutated, it went all green, and it was solid. And you get like legendary items off them as well, which is just crazy. It's just nuts. What about sort of crazy stuff have you seen? Like something that I love doing is like if I'm walking down the street and like you said, the cities are just compact, completely full of stuff. People were worried about the loading screens and that. How many buildings, like you said, are just hollowed and you can just walk in? They're everywhere.
It seems like at least 3/4 of them.
Yeah, and it's just full of them. There's only a couple of set piece buildings that you can't actually do anything with.
Yeah. I have been impressed with the number of random encounters, not just random encounters with creatures that I have to fight, but a scripted walk up to a building and there's a conversation going on, and you have to sort of quickly sort out what's happening here and am I going to get involved or not.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those go wrong where I tried to save somebody and then ended up shooting them, and then all three people were attacking me. So it can go bad quickly.
I think because you're a massive Skyrim fan as well, like me, I was looking forward to like the random events, like you do in Skyrim with the patrols and stuff like that. Yep. And one I saw, I don't know if it happened again or if it was a one-off or whatever, but I was walking down the road and there was a guy and he was a raider and he was bending down because I got him on VATS and I was like, what's he doing? So I walked closer. He was burying another raider in a grave. And then he turned around and started shooting me. And there was like a little note and like a vase and stuff like that. He was burying another raider. I just thought that was really interesting. What about crazy stuff you've seen? I saw something the other day. I've put 20 hours in this already because I've been off work this week. And so I've seen quite a lot already, but only like just scratched. There's a building that you can go in later. And it was lucky that I found it, really. It was like a counter and there was like a Mr. Handy robot behind it. And I went to try and speak to him and he was like, I'll be with you in a minute, sir. And then I turned around and there's this skeleton on a bench and he had a note in his hand and I picked up the note and it said 22. So I looked at the Mr. Handy and then he went, 12. Does anybody have 12? So I thought, he's going to be ages. And I thought, yeah, all right, I'll wait. So I waited there and I waited and he was 13. Does anybody have 13? And he got to 19. He went, 19? No? Let's do this again. 12. And I thought, are they trying to say that guy died waiting for 22? It was just very, very funny how that just happened. And this other thing, I was just wondering the waste. I was going over the overhangs, which are really dangerous, and I was underneath one, and there was like a raider camp come up. I think we have a visitor coming as well. There was a raider camp, and these two raiders were after me, and they were solid, and one of them had power armor. So I was hiding around the corner. Eventually, they gave up looking for me, and then as they walked off, the guy raider said to the woman raider, "Hey, you need to relax." And the woman raider said something like, "Fuck you! If I want to fucking relax, I'll fucking relax." And it was just that encounter between the two, the little dialogue, it was just hilarious. And Kim is back in the chat. Hello, Kim.
Hiya.
Hello, Kim.
She's sporting the background there. Gamer Girl is back in the podcast tonight. Technical issues. Say hello, Kim.
Hi, everybody.
We're just talking about Fallout 4, Kim, which me and Chris have been smashing. Chris, tell us some wacky stories of the Wasteland.
I haven't been playing long enough to see anything too wacky. I've had a couple of different encounters where walk up to a house and there's two people, a guy and a gal, and they're holding guns on this other guy. So I'm like, all right, I guess the right thing to do is to rescue this poor bloke. Yeah. So I get in a gunfight there, manage to kill the other two, and then the other guy turns and tries to rob me. I was like, oh, thanks, dude. So I ended up shooting him too. And taking all of their stuff, as you do. Yeah. That's what you do. One thing I've noticed on this one is, you talked earlier about it being a challenge. Even things like the feral ghouls, which were just kind of a nuisance in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Oh my God.
Are rather menacing for a new early player. They move much faster. They move a little more randomly. They tend to. You see one, and then suddenly there are 7.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying that. Although the ones that look like they're dead and then get up and come after you have gotten me a few times.
Do you know that those feral ghouls are incredible in this game? They are like their own character, and I have had that as well, where because in this game, like, dead ghouls are everywhere, like especially in the cities where raiders or settlers have like took them out. So. You just got to VATS as you go in, looking anywhere just to see if any on the floor are alive, because they still show up on VATS. But they're just crazy. They run at you. They run in groups. You can't like reload properly and stuff if they're hitting you. You can shoot their legs off, so they just crawl towards you as well. You can shoot their arms off, so they're just like coming at you with just their head. And I was in the Super Duper Mart, and it happens in other buildings as well. Buildings where like it's an interior, so it's not in the main world. They have like encounter places where the ghouls just come out of the wall or fall through a window and stuff, and they surprise you like that. And I think that's just really, it's just insane. Like the way that they're sort of, they are a menace and they are a challenge. Whereas in the last game, you just hear that and you know, oh, okay, right, yeah, ghouls, just get me combat shotgun out and sort it. But in this, you could walk right down the corridor, turn around, there'd be 4 of them. And then you kill them, there's 1 behind you, and then 2 come through the window. I'm pointing at my window. And
it's good.
They are,
good for effect.
They are just, they've done really well, I think, in this with the ghouls. And the super mutants I haven't really touched on. I've come across them a couple of times, and I have killed a few. I've come across a suicide super mutant. Have you seen one of them yet?
I have not seen any super mutants yet. I'm only on like level 8, so I hope I don't see one too soon. You
can get them in that town we were talking about where the factory is, and that the next town over, the next main town is where I first saw them. I was creeping through the town. I think I was on like an asbestos run or something. I was just after some stuff, so I was going around and I was sneaking and like in the shadows. I was being all quiet, and I looked, and there was like 4 settlers, or what were they? Scavengers, just like around a campfire. And they were hostile, like, so I was being quiet, and I thought, do I kill one of them? And like the rest come at me, and like I was turning around and telling Dogmeat to shh. Have you noticed as well, when you sneak, he sneaks?
He does. He has that silly look on his face too, like he's trying to be quiet.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah,
he's just brilliant. I've noticed. I like as well, if you sneak and speak to him, she whispers. Like I've got a female called a Zoe. She whispers, "Hey boy," and he's like, "Ruff." It's like, stay. So I was there, and I was like, right, how am I going to attack this? And then I heard like, hey, what are you doing? And that's me super mutant voice. Turn around, there was this glowing super mutant just running towards them, and these guys started shooting at him, and then all of a sudden this nuclear explosion just... So I was looking around, and I was like, what blew up? Where the hell are all these bodies for me to get all the shit from? It was a suicide super mutant. He just like blows himself up.
Self-nuked.
Yeah, just brilliant. It's just nuke. And it was just amazing. I was like, huh, I don't have to deal with that problem now. It just took care of itself.
You do see a lot of NPCs fighting each other as you walk through the cities, and sometimes if you just lay back and let them deal with each other, you can collect a lot of loot. Yeah, and just pick off the weak ones at the end. That is quite a common thing, because raiders in this are like... in Fallout 3, they were kind of just like background noise. You know, oh, there's raiders over there, whatever. But in this, they're kind of like their own faction in a way. I've not progressed enough in the story to know if you can join them or if whatever story-wise, but there's like parts of the story where like they talk about the raiders as if they're like a people, and they set up like camps, don't they? And they've got like this like buildings where they are full of raiders, and like ghouls come out, and they're shooting all the ghouls, like you said. And there's a few times where I've seen like scavengers fighting raiders. There's a couple like scavengers and things like that I've noticed. I didn't I'm coughing here, sorry. I didn't realize that so many people would be your enemy in this. Like almost everything is like hostile to you. Even things like scavengers, I thought, oh, just be a trader or whatever. No, he wants to kill your face. So I mean, this we're just showing on the stream now the perk system, because they've got this new perk screen where you don't do skills anymore, do you? And you just pick a perk every level. How do you feel about the change? Because it is quite a drastic change from the last one. I'm okay with it. I like the idea that you can use your level up to build your special, so you're not stuck with, you know, if you started the game with low charisma and then you realize all of a sudden how important it actually is, you can use your level up to increase it. And then you can selectively choose perks that will enhance whatever style of fighting that you are going after. I did want to ask, Kim, have you played this at all, Fallout 4? Not yet?
No.
You played the little iPhone vault people thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to feed into Fallout 4 in any way, or is that just
I don't think so.
fun?
I think it's just something you can do while you were waiting for Fallout 4. So, or if you're just me, you just do it because it's fun.
There is a Pip-Boy app you can get, though, you can download, which does interact with the game. You can use it to look at your inventory, and I think it's got a map on it.
Have you tried that yet, Chris?
The Pip-Boy app? No.
I've tried it.
Look it up. Is it any good?
Yeah, I haven't got the Pip-Boy thing, so I kind of like had my phone like dangling on my arm. Like,
you don't need that. You don't need $100 Pip-Boy thing. You just sellotape your phone to your arm, can't you?
Glue it.
Yeah.
It's basically it's your like computer or whatever. It's connected to your network, and it just hooks into your Wi-Fi, your local network, and detects your game, and it's your Pip-Boy on your screen. You can do your menu. It's a proper Pip-Boy menu map. Fast travel to places, change weapons, do your not your perks, but do like your stats and stuff. And there's no delay; it's just instant. Like bring up your map, boom, like comes up on here. Fast travel done, change weapon done. It integrates really, really well. I mean, it's only novelty. Like I did it for like 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this again, but it's great. I just thought it was really clever. So yeah, give it a try. The Pip-Boy app. There is one last thing I want to touch on before we move off from Fallout 4, Chris, unless you've got anything else you're dying to say. I mean, the games.
I've got a question.
You can play games on the Pip-Boy. Have you played the games?
Yeah, I haven't tried any of those yet, but I did see a couple of them.
Yeah, I played the Donkey Kong. I think I've collected about 6, but I've not played any others. But yeah, the games on the Pip-Boy. I did tweet to Pete Hines and asked him if because I do mods for Skyrim, can we program and make games that run on the Pip-Boy and stuff? But he never replied. So imagine that. Imagine if modders who can program games in like C# or C++ or whatever could make games for the Pip-Boy. That'd be ace. Chucky Egg. I'd make Chucky Egg. So many Mario ripoffs. Just before we get onto your question, Mark, one last thing I want to touch on is graphics. I don't know if you've noticed, Chris, but they've got a new graphics option, which I think should be on if you're playing on like medium or whatever, called Rain Occlusion. Have you seen that?
I did not look at that.
That's one of the, it's like a tick box. I think it's on by default on the consoles or whatever. It stops rain coming through buildings when you're underneath them. Did you ever notice that in Oblivion and Morrowind and Skyrim and Fallout 3? If you were underneath a building, it was raining or whatever, the rain would just come through under a bridge, come through. That doesn't happen anymore. They fixed that. It's done. I just think that's brilliant because the workarounds for mods to do that in Skyrim was just like they had to set up trigger boxes and you walk in and it changes the global weather and just makes it rain a little bit outside you. But in this, they've fixed it. So, yeah, no more raining underneath a bridge. Well done.
So why is it an option then? Is it because a slower PC can't handle it, or it'll just rain through the building?
Basically, yeah. So if you turn it off, because I think it'd be quite CPU intensive. If you turn it off, it stops raining. GTA 5 and Red Dead, they all got it. So it took a while, but they got it in the end. I love it in GTA 5 though. If you're going outside in the rain, you're driving in the wet, and then you go under a bridge, it stops raining, and then you go back out the bridge and it starts raining again. They fixed that now. So yeah, graphic wise, I'm quite impressed with it. I mean, a lot of people complaining, saying, "Oh, it didn't look like a last gen game." I think it looked great.
I don't know what the complaints are. I think it looks really good, and I think it'll look even better once we start seeing modders coming out with the inevitable high res texture packs and visual enhancements and things that will be available through the PC community. I don't have the time nor the skills to do such things, but I'm glad those people exist.
Well, I think I can speak for all of us. You're welcome. I'm only messing.
Yes.
So yeah,
yes, I'm glad people like you exist, Richard.
So graphically, it's beautiful. I mean, I'm only playing on like medium stroke high. I've got textures on ultra. The textures are a little bit ugly, but I mean, the recommended settings on the, I mean, there's so much going on in this game. The world's huge. It's jam packed. It's like an orgy in like a matchbox. It's just like so condensed and just like fantastic.
That's intense.
It is so unbelievable. And the recommended settings for this game is like a really high-end graphics card. So I would love to see this on like super high settings, like you said, with the high textures and all that. They may even do a high-res pack like they did with Skyrim, for an even bigger like graphics card or whatever. So yeah, I think we've probably talked enough about Fallout 4, to be honest. It's just
at least for this week.
Can I just ask my question?
Yeah, no. Questions, questions, throw them.
I'm going to get a load of hate mail for this, so any hate mail sent to Greg DeLacy at Overseas Connection. I didn't really get on with Fallout 3. I struggled with it. I struggled for ammo. I got killed a lot, and it put me off. I didn't know what I was doing. What's the difference with this? How can you sell me this game?
Go on, Chris. Your voice is sexier than mine.
Thank you. But I don't have your beard, so maybe you can lip sync as I speak.
Okay.
This game, they've done a good job. One thing I noticed is in Fallout 3, I couldn't get on without the VATS system. I had a really hard time shooting anything. They've done a much better job with the controls set up in this game. I play on the PC, but I use an Xbox controller because I'm still a bit of a noob. It feels much more like a first-person shooter, so the grenades are smartly mapped. You don't have to... One of the problems with Fallout 3 was you had to switch to your grenade, throw your grenade, and then switch back to your gun.
Yeah.
Now you can have a grenade and a gun at the same time, which is handy. I did read in reviews that ammo would be scarce, but I haven't found that to be the case. And one thing I do like is the first weapon you get, which is the 10mm pistol, the ubiquitous 10mm pistol. They've actually made it useful in this game. In Fallout 3, you would almost throw that thing away as soon as you could because it was virtually useless. But in this game, you can modify it, and I'm still using it. I'm 12 hours into the game, and that's still my primary go-to. So
same for me. Yeah, I've got a modified pistol, got extra like extended clips, scopes, new barrel. It's the works. In terms of like difficulty, I've struggled with some ammo. Maybe because I'm level 20. I've probably done more and more firefights and stuff. But 10mm ammo seems to be quite scarce. One thing I did notice is the high level enemies are more difficult than in Fallout 3. Looking back, you can just run through Fallout 3. You can run past super mutants. Don't matter. They won't chase you or whatever. In this, the Murlocs are strong, like bastards. They come at you like bastards. The Rad Scorpions are like solid as well. Death Claws are like unbelievably hard. You do need a power armor, like in the trailer. Even like just high level raiders, it's a lot more difficult. But because they've made the shooting better, and because stealth plays a better role in this, it's more accessible and easier to play. It's difficult to play in the sense that it's still tricky, but it's a lot easier to actually win. Shooting, like Chris said, shooting it feels like Borderlands almost, like Borderlands type shooting to me. And like Chris said, grenade button, brilliant. Just chuck a grenade.
Duke was worried about the VAT system because on the trailers and V3 stuff, it looks like it was in very slow motion, whereas Duke was saying that he preferred it where it was completely stopped. Does that make a difference, or does it work okay?
I personally don't use VATS anymore. I used it loads in 3. Whether it's because they now move and it's a bit more difficult or not, I'm not sure. But I think it's just because the shooting's so much easier and better. I just rarely use it now because I can shoot them quicker than it is with VATS. So yeah, what about you, Chris? Do you use VATS at all?
I do use the VAT system a lot once the fighting gets close. So what I've tried to do is I have a scoped weapon on me all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking way ahead to set the fight up. So one thing I love to do is carry around a bunch of mines. And if I'm about to get into a firefight, I'll just put out a bunch of mines, shoot a couple guys, let them run through the minefield, and then I'll whatever's left I can mop up with the shotgun.
Yeah. Nice. I do that with the ghouls as well. Like if you're in a building and like there's 4 or 5 ghouls in front of you, chuck a bottle cap mine or a couple of frag mines, sit back with your sniper rifle, scope a couple while sneaking, you get the bonus. They'll run at you, going sick, falling over stuff. They just fall on the mines, done. And look at if you want to laugh, maybe their legs will blow off and they'll just crawl, struggling.
Or shoot their legs off. I was having trouble with the ghouls early because I was trying to headshot them, and then I noticed I could shoot their legs off, and then they slow way down, and I can just pick them off after that. So now it's one shot to the leg and let Dogmeat take care of them.
Yeah, Dogmeat's great. I mean, he does piss me off sometimes. Like he gets in the way if I'm like in a fucking toilet cubicle or something, picking up shit out of the toilet. Turn around, he's there, and I can't walk over him like this. I jump over him. Sometimes I'm there picking up like stim packs off the floor, like pick, and he runs in front of me like, and then I talk to him, and I was like, no, get out the way. But generally, he's really good. He finds stuff for you, which is great.
So he doesn't die like in the last game, then?
No, he lives forever. Yeah. And what's great, like I said, he'll run off. He'll be fighting the ghouls. You can just throw grenades. It's game breaking, but you just chuck grenades.
I set Dogmeat on fire every time we fight ghouls. I throw a Molotov cocktail, and poor Dogmeat's right there,
always
getting burned with the ghouls.
Yeah, I do the same. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally impressed with this game. It's everything that I could have asked for with a Fallout game and another Bethesda game. Makes me excited for what they're going to do with Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm I'm looking forward to playing more. Right now, I've not even scratched the surface. Level 20. No, sorry, I'm like level 14, 20 hours in. I've really just done maybe the top left corner of the map, kind of explored, but there's so many places I haven't been yet, even that I've discovered, because you walk past them, don't you? But like, oh, I'll go in there later, you know.
Yeah, maybe. If I don't get killed.
Yeah, just some of the little stories as well are really good with like the things. Like I was in a building. It's the last thing now, last Fallout story. I was in a building. I was reading the terminals, and it was a super duper mart, and it was a coffee shop, and it was an email from like the manager, and it says, unfortunately, we've had to let Sally go because of the complaints. But on the plus side, we've got a new coffee machine. We've put it on her desk as a temporary thing, and then the next email is, sorry, the coffee machine's really loud, and we're gonna move it. And just little things like that are just really funny.
I was afraid when I read that message that the computer was going to turn the coffee machine on for me and attract some unwanted attention.
Yeah.
Since that supermarket is overrun with the feral ghouls.
Just so many ghouls. I mean, I prefer it in free. I think it was Raiders, wasn't it? In this one, it's ghouls. It's so much better, especially with the trolleys, because they do just like knock them over and stuff. It's just great. So yeah, we're really impressed. I think it's probably going to be my game of the year, to be honest. We've been talking about it for a long time.
It's already settled.
Yeah, done. So I think that's what we've been playing. Kim, you were in here. What have you been playing, love?
Oh, a little Dragon Age. I finally finished the Jaws of Hakon the other day, so that's done off the list.
That's quite a tough DLC, isn't it?
It is. It was a heck of a lot tougher than the rest of the game.
Yeah, I had to go at it when I was doing the main quests, and I thought, nah, I'll go back to that later, and I haven't done. But yeah, it was really tough enemies on that.
Oh yeah, I'm like a level 27, and it was still difficult. It was pretty intense. So I'm kind of dreading to see what the descent's going to be like. I have a feeling it's going to kick my butt as well. So, and then of course Extra Life was going on, so I kind of dug deep in the vault to drag out some stuff to play for that, and
the vault, get it?
That's the vault. See, I can make puns too. We played Timbo, the badass elephant, finally.
Oh,
and
wow.
Believe it or not, yeah, I know. And it is a cute little thing. I mean, I was exhausted when I tried playing it, so I got a little aggravated early. But it is a nice little platformer. I was impressed I think I spent $8 on it, so I think it was worth that.
This is the thing from the Nintendo guys, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, is it Game Freak? Was it Game Freak that developed it? I think it was the guy people who make Pokemon games or something. I think they made it.
Well, it's a good little game. I mean, like I said, it's a little platformer. So even in my tired state, I did pretty well. So, and then I dug out Lego The Hobbit and played it for a while until I got aggravated with it, trying to build the little contraptions. You can't do that when you're sleepy. You just can't.
No.
And eventually I finished off with some Destiny. So, you know, I finished The Taken King the other day. So,
what did you think?
I actually enjoyed it compared to the House of Wolves. I definitely like the Taken King better. So
there's more depth to it, isn't there? And the character that Caden guy, voiced by Nathan Fillion, is a great character, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's just a crackpot. It's hilarious.
And once you've done the main storyline, more and more quests open up to you, Kim. So it's not over yet. There's loads more to do in that after you've done the main storyline. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody keeps talking about a sword, and I haven't got a sword yet. I'm waiting to see what this.
Yeah, I've got a couple of the normal swords, but you can get exotic ones as well. So I've not got them yet.
What is it that's keeping you playing Destiny, Kim? Because it's been out quite a while now. It got a lot of stick when it was released because it didn't quite live up to stuff. What is it about Destiny?
I think it's just my friends that play it. To be honest, I mean, if it was just me and I didn't have the people to play it with, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just be playing Dragon Age or The Witcher or whatever. But since I've got some good group of people to play with, then that's what keeps me going back.
Okay.
Otherwise,
it's a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just sit there. I wouldn't touch it.
Okay.
I buy that. I played a lot of Borderlands, which was a great game, but not the greatest if you really skinned it. But when Borderlands 2 came out, I found there wasn't as big a community around it, and I only played it for like 30 minutes and put it away.
Yeah, I found that. Everyone loved Borderlands, and I got Borderlands 2. Granted on PC, so didn't really have as many people on Xbox Live to play it with. But yeah, a couple of hours and I had enough.
On PC, we could have a little pity party.
We could, yeah. Borderlands. It was a good game. So many guns.
I played the hell out of Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2, I almost got all the achievements on it. I played it so much.
Yeah. I think what pissed me off about Borderlands 2 is I did that level. It was near the start. It was like a big kind of like ship or something, or oil rig or whatever. I got to the end kind of, and then like come off it. My last save was like before I was like miles away, and I was like, I can't be arsed with this. I'm not going there.
Yep.
So that kind of wound me up. So I lost interest then. But up until that point, it was really good.
Sounds like me in Mass Effect. I got real tired of playing it and then dying and then realizing that I didn't save it, before I died because it doesn't have autosave.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go back and do a big old chunk of it all over again. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I've done that with Witcher 3 as well.
I would give anything.
No ill speaking of Mass Effect in this podcast.
I was going to say, yeah, if I died,
Nicole's not on then.
if I died on Mass Effect, I'd see it as like a blessing because I get to do it again because it's fucking great. There's nothing wrong with it. Mass Effect Andromeda. Did anybody see that little trailer on N7 Day?
No.
No gameplay, but it was just voiceover, and it showed the ship in intergalactic space, which I don't understand how they managed to do intergalactic travel because it's very far. Going to Andromeda. So yeah, we're going to Andromeda, guys. There's probably no humans there. It's going to be crazy. All new aliens, all new lands, all new lives. One man
Woohoo.
or woman. So yeah, that came on. So yeah, N7 Day's a thing. So we got Back to the Future Day, which won't happen ever again. N7 Day. What else have we got? What other nerd days have we got, guys?
May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
May
At
the
Star
4th
Wars Day.
be with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're releasing on December the 18th, aren't we?
Yeah.
Missed a
I've heard
trick
it
there,
comes
didn't I?
out on the 15th in the UK. Is that correct?
I thought it was 18th. I might be wrong. I know it's mid-December. We're going to go see it. I'm off between Christmas and New Year, so we're going to see it with them.
Yeah, it's going to be good times. That new trailer, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Ah, so nice. I mean, this is going to... I'm going to hate for this, but I hate Star Wars. I think the acting's bad, the storyline's like trivial. The old films. It just I tried to watch them the other day. I just can't watch them, right? But I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a massive geek, but I love it as well. I hate it. I can't watch it, but I love it. I love everything about it. I like the prequels. I like the lightsabers, and it's cool, and the stories and stuff. Just those first 3 films are just so bad acting and camera work and stuff.
Star Wars has got a special place in my heart because it was one of the first action pictures I went to see at the cinema. We were on holiday in Bridlington on the East Coast, and we went to... my dad took me to the Winter Garden cinema. I think I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I went to see Star Wars, and that was my first proper action flick. And ever since then... my dad's always been into sci-fi anyway. Ever since then, I've been hooked on Star Wars and anything science fiction. Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff.
Yeah. I love Star Trek. I could watch that all day.
Big point in my life is Star Wars.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, we've got the film to look forward to. Battlefront's coming out soon, so that might be good.
Yeah, well, if you got EA Access, it's out now.
It is. You got how many hours is it? 10 hours or something?
10 hours, yeah.
I think
I've got
Robin's...
it downloaded thanks to Greg downloading it, so it automatically downloaded on mine. I've not had a chance to play it yet because I've been playing Tomb Raider all the time, but yeah, I'm going to give that a go.
Yeah, I think Robin's been playing it, hasn't he? So we'll probably talk about that next week on the show. I'd say we'll read out who's in the chat tonight, but there isn't really that many people tonight, so I'll just give them a quick read. We've got Dirt Head, we've got Prawn Toast. He was talking about Fallout 4. He's loving it. He's playing it on Ultra and loves it to bits. RCGC and Soul Brother 1, they're in the Twitch tonight. I don't know if we got any new followers this week. I don't keep count. However, I will read the last 4 follows we've got because maybe one of them's new. We've got Piece of Freeze 7, You Ain't Red E. We've got Johnny Dirty Deza, and then we've got Duke of Dork 1. There are Twitch follows, the last 4 follows that we had. So I think that about wraps up what we've been playing. Unless anybody's like secretly been playing something.
That was a long. What have you been playing?
That was an hour. That yeah, but Fallout though and Tomb Raider. I mean Fallout. I mean it. Yeah, Fallout.
I'm ready.
Fallout. So emails this week we didn't have any. So thanks for that. If you want to email the show, send your emails to podcast@g40e.com. That's is that right? Podcast
yes.
at g40e.com.
Yes.
Send your emails. We'll read them out. If you've got any corrections, tell us your Fallout 4 stories. Tell us your favourite bits.
Tomb Raider stories.
Oh, Tomb Raider stories,
Not all
yeah.
about Fallout 4, there's Tomb Raider as well.
That's right.
Or Destiny. What about Destiny? I think I'm getting Lego. It's either Lego The Hobbit or Lego Lord of the Rings on my 3DS for Christmas as well. I've got it on PC already.
I've got Lego The Hobbit up there for PS4. Not even touched it yet.
What did you think of the Lego? Did you play any of the other Lego Lord of the Rings games, Mark?
Yeah, I played the Lord of the Rings one on 360. I quite enjoyed that. It was quite good.
Did you? Yeah, that was good.
I had a hard time with I liked a lot of the other Lego games, but the Lego Lord of the Rings, when they started dubbing in the dialogue from
exactly what you were going to say then. Yeah,
it was it just kind of broke it for me.
Yeah, the Star Wars ones where they go, it's just it's quite sort of like it's characteristic of them, and
it's charming,
quite cute. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Well, and it was like there's the scene where there's the scene in the second Lord of the Rings movie where Aragorn falls off the cliff, and then they go to Helm's Deep, and they're all like, "Oh, Aragorn's dead," and we're all sad. And then the next, and they voice that from the movie, all the sad dialogue, and then the next thing you see is Lego Aragorn, crawling up out of the river with a fish in his mouth, just kind of throwing it aside. And it's like, nah.
I guess I'm the only one that liked it then, I guess, because I don't play a lot of Lego games, so that was like my first one, and I actually enjoyed that. So.
And I know Fraser's played Lego Jurassic Park recently, Jurassic World or whatever it is, and he says that's the same. They've used clips from the movies, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit right, and the actual audio they've captured, it's quite poor quality for what it is. Yeah.
That's the thing, like you said, but in the Indiana Jones, I remember playing, and that was kind of like charming and like. Yeah. I think, like Chris said, with those, as soon as they started dubbing the voices, and you can hear that it's cut from the film, and it's a different volume than the actual game, and all this, it does sort of take it out of it a bit. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings so much that I live in it. I rode around on a sheep in Hobbiton for like an hour as Samwise because he's my favorite guy. Samwise, Samwise, and Boromir are my two favorite characters in Lord of the Rings. That might be a bit weird for some people. I just love that bit when in the film where he's like, "I can't carry you, Mr. Frodo. No, I can't carry the ring, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you." And he goes, "I'd have married Rosie Cotton. It'd have been her." And I love Sean Astin anyway. The Goonies is a brilliant film. Anyway, guys, this week we've had some news. Not a lot in terms of Spectrum, so we haven't got a quiz this week, but we're going to touch on a few things of news. So Pronto said he remembers Lego Star Wars was so fun. It was.
It was superb. Yeah.
It was, but Star Wars, that was a few minutes ago, mate. We're on to something else now. New releases. Let's do the new releases before we do the news. How about we break it up a bit? Mark, Chris, who's got the new releases ready to read?
Yeah, I can do the new releases.
Go.
So, new releases for 14th of November to the 21st of November. We have got Night Squad on Xbox One and PC, and I believe that is the next games with gold, Kim? Yeah?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Borderlands Triple Pack on 360 and PS3 on November the 17th, so they're trying to resell old shit on old consoles. The Crew Wild Run, I've not really heard anything about this, really.
No one cares.
Xbox One, PS4, PC, November 17th. I hope it's better than the last Crew, because that's shit. I've got it up there and not played it. Star Wars Battlefront, this little small game by DICE. Xbox One, PS4, PC on November 17th. Stellar Glow on 3DS. So Nintendo, get some titles out there. November 17th. Sword Art Online Lost Song. That sounds like a JRPG, if anything. On PS4 and PS Vita on the 17th of November. Hard West on PC, Mac, and Linux on 18th November. Celestial Tear, or Tear? Is that Tear? I don't know. One or the other.
In that context, it's Celestial, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. Demon's Revenge on PC, November the 19th. Typo Man on Wii U on November the 19th. Mayan Death Robots on PC, November the 20th. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on Wii U on November 20th. And Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon on 3DS on 20th November. And that's the new releases for the next week.
Good to see Linux getting some love. Good for them.
It is. But
the Nintendo stuff's getting some love as well, for a change.
We're going to touch on some Nintendo stuff right now, and we're going to touch on some Linux stuff in a way. SteamOS is going to come up. You're right, though, Chris. It is nice Linux getting some love. Can Can be a bad thing though, and that's a segue into the news, guys. It's the news of the week. So this week, not a lot happened in terms of scope, like I said, but there was some big news, some little news. We're going to start off with the October NPD numbers because we know Greg likes to do these, and he's not here.
NPD numbers, Rich, for those who don't know?
NPDs stand for non-profit divisionals. They are basically how many. That's not the acronym. I don't know what it is. It's basically the numbers. How many consoles?
Pennies dropped.
Not people don't suck. I don't know. How many consoles got sold? How many games got sold for October? You'll be surprised. What do you think came in number one? Have a guess. It came in October. What release?
Well, seeing as I'm looking at them now, I know, so I can't really say. I wouldn't have said that, though.
Yeah.
As an exclusive. That's a clue.
Yeah. Chris, Kim. Chris. Yeah, Kim. Have you seen the notes? Have you looked?
Yeah, I've seen the notes. I know what was number one.
Chris?
I'm not surprised at all.
Have you seen the notes?
I've seen the notes.
Okay. Halo 5 Guardians took the top spot this week. Last month for October. Pushed the Xbox One sales over the PS4 as well for the month. So Xbox One outsold PS4. There you go. The bundles helped because they had a Master Chief like Halo 5 bundle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Halo 5 came in number one. Second was NBA 2K16. That's a bit strange. It's a bit of a weird month actually. Let me read down the top 10.
That always does sell well in North America though. And these are North American sales, aren't they?
I'm guessing so. Yeah, they're off. Yeah. I think they were off like Polygon or something. They're all really strange. Like it's a weird month. You've got Rock Band 4 in at number 10. Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection is at number 9. Yoshi's Woolly World at number 8. I think that's for a Wii U title that's only got like, I don't know, 10 million consoles worldwide. To have a game come in at number 8, I think that's really good. Destiny: The Taken King, number 7. So for DLC, that's not too bad. FIFA 16 at number 6. WWE 2K16 at number 5. Madden NFL 16 at number 4. Lots of sports games. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is at number 3. And like I said, NBA and then Halo. It takes 2 and 1. So a lot of sports games. But to be honest, didn't mostly sports games come out anyway? It's a sport game month, really, isn't it?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was just stopping some muppet in the chat talking crap.
Xbox One outsold PS4, so we've seen that. We've also seen, I think it's a 2% year-on-year increase in overall industry spend. So overall, in October, the industry earned $805 million. The gaming industry. That's huge, nearly $1 billion.
Wow.
So yeah, games are more popular than ever. I think helped a lot by Halo 5 and the sports games and things like that, because they obviously bring a lot of people in. They go, oh, that's that Halo game that I all hear so much about or whatever. Or I've got to get my Madden fix.
They always tend to advertise in the big American sports games, don't they, as well, in the adverts or the intermissions or whatever, with the Halos.
Yeah.
I know Greg was saying he saw it in one of the big games. But I actually thought Assassin's Creed would have been number 1 because it's multi-console and everything. But yeah, I'm pleased for Halo.
Yeah, well, Halo. A lot of people might have been waiting for Halo 5 as well. You know, there are people out there that just play like Halo and Madden and stuff. So a lot of them might have been waiting. Speaking of sales as well, this is for this week. That's just gone now. So those were the October NPDs. Fallout 4 hit this week. I haven't got sales for Tomb Raider because I don't know if they've been released yet, but Fallout 4 is shipped 12 million units on launch day alone.
Wow.
So shipped, that means how many they got into stores. 12 million on launch day. To put that into kind of perspective, I think they shipped about 7 million for Skyrim or Fallout 3. I think it was Skyrim, and sold 3.5 million in like launch day or whatever. So even if you say half, Fallout 4 has sold 6 million units in its first week. It hit peak as well on Steam on release day. For that day, it hit 446,000 concurrent players on Steam. So wow. 500,000 people on Steam were playing it on launch day. It's the highest peak game on Steam ever that isn't a Valve game. It beat GTA 5, which had 361,000, and before that, Skyrim had the most at 280,000 at once. So it went Skyrim, GTA, and then Fallout 4. So Skyrim come out, and then like GTA 5 took it off Bethesda, and Bethesda have took it back.
I have to say, when I went on my Xbox One today, the majority of people on my friends list were playing Fallout 4, and I just checked the PS4 briefly as well, and most people on there are playing Fallout 4, so maybe Santa might bring me it for Christmas, I don't know.
I think it's probably safe to say as well, it's kind of safe to say that I think a lot of Elder Scrolls players play Fallout as well. So they have two different franchises in the same player base kind of thing as well. So that, I think that helps them a lot. Just to put that into perspective though, 446,000 people at once. On that same day, Dota 2 had 765,000 people on that day. At one point though, Fallout 4 overtook Dota and Counter-Strike Go as the most played. Not completely, but at one point there was more people playing Fallout 4 than Dota 2. So yeah, Fallout 4 is doing really well for Bethesda. I think that it's probably going to be their biggest selling game ever. Grossed like $500 million or something in its first week. $500 million for a game that probably cost, I don't know, $100 million to make, would you say? Maybe even less, I don't know. I think GTA was like $200 million or something ridiculous. I'm making numbers up now, just add 5. Nintendo Direct happened this week as well. I know, because we're all massive Nintendo fans here. Especially in the chat, and there's just weird people in the Twitch tonight.
There really is.
Really weird, strange people. Anyway, Nintendo Direct, it's like their mini E3. They have like a few a year. This is the first one since Satoru Iwata died, and they did announce quite a few big things. Did anybody listen or pay attention to Nintendo Direct this week?
It's Nintendo, so nope.
No. Okay.
Not for me.
First thing, I put it on Twitter. Reggie, we all know who Reggie is from E3. He come out and he said, "Hi, I'm Reggie from Nintendo. None of this. I'm the CEO of Nintendo America US Incorporated Limited Enterprises." It was just like, "I'm Reggie from Nintendo." They announced a few big things. Zelda, the Twilight Princess, is getting an HD remake for the Wii U. Which means Zelda Twilight Princess was released on the GameCube, then the Wii, and now the Wii U. So twice it's been remade. The biggest news, I think, for people is that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII is going to be in Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U. That's quite a big deal. A lot of people just lost their shit over that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Splatoon's getting some free DLC. There's a Smash Brothers bundle. Star Fox is now coming out in April next year. The new Zelda game is still coming for Wii U. I know there was a bit of like, is it going to be on NX? But no, that's coming out on Wii U still. It might get a release on NX eventually, who knows. So that they're like the big Wii U stuff. On 3DS, Dragon Quest 7 and 8 is coming to the West. It never has, so that's big deal for them. Fire Emblem Fates is coming in 2 different packages, kind of like Pokemon. Pokemon Yellow, Red and Blue are getting remade. Well, not remade, but re-released on the Virtual Console for 3DS. So that's quite a big deal for those guys. And some Hyrule Warriors stuff. So yeah, big week for Nintendo. And a lot, some of the stuff that they showed off come out already this week. So the new Pokemon game. Also this week, which might be a bit more favourable between you guys, is the new Xbox One experience come out. They took out Kinect gestures. Just took them out.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not surprised, because I think most people who do use Kinect for navigation use voice. So, I've never used gestures on it.
Yeah.
In fact, if anything, they'd get in the way, because I'll be watching a movie through it, because I use it to stream from my Mac, so I can watch a movie through the Xbox to get it on the big telly. And I'll put my arm up like that, on myself, and you're just relaxing, and it'll sense your arm, and it'll start putting a hand up, going, "Oh yes, you want me," and you think, "Nope, go away." So
I think it's just funny because like they marketed that, didn't they? Like Kim, I'm sure you remember E3 when that guy came out and showed off all the TV stuff. Was it E3 they showed that off, or was it Gamescom before it or something? I can't remember, but it was all about TV, all about Kinect. So they take out Kinect, and now they take out the gestures. I think, Phil Spencer's cleaning house, isn't he? He's just going through with a fucking mop, a broom, and a chisel.
But it's working. They're selling lots. They're selling more than what they've ever done.
They are.
They're trying to catch PS4 up.
Do you know what? I think Phil Spencer's doing with Xbox what it kind of wanted to be, and I think he's doing really well. He's making some really good decisions. He's a fantastic guy to watch, and hear him speak about stuff. He was on the PC Gamer Show at E3. He's bigging up Windows 10. He's doing a lot of things, and he's making some good business decisions. You got Tomb Raider, you know, a few things. So they're doing really well at the minute for Xbox. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table.
The new dashboard rollout came out this week. A few of us have had it early with the preview program, but it's rolled out to everybody this week. And backwards compatibility. There's 100 titles available now.
It's true.
The new Dash, once you get used to it, is a lot faster, a lot snappier than the old one. It's no secret that I hated the user interface on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
I was always slagging it off. I was always on about how easy and simple the PS4 one is, how quick it is. But yeah, they've done a great job with the Xbox One, the new Dash. I really enjoy it now.
You haven't got the consoles, have you, Chris?
I have an Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3.
Okay. So PC.
Yeah, PS3's a Netflix machine. I always see every time you're online, you're always playing Netflix.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what is it about this dashboard update that you like the most? Like, is it a big deal? Because they come out with these updates like every time they do a new one. It's like news. What's news about this? Is it just that it's a bit snappier?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot quicker. And they've actually taken a few leaves out of the Windows 10 book. You've got a left-hand menu now, and you just flick your stick to the left, and you've got all your little icons for your friends, your games, and everything. And it's like I say, if you don't know what Windows 10 looks like, then it's hard to explain. It's very much a Windows 10 lookalike. How are you getting on with it, Kim? What do you think?
Oh, I like it. Like I said, I don't have Windows 10 yet, so I have no idea. But compared to the original dashboard to this one, I definitely like this one a heck of a lot better. Like you said, I like the thing on the left now where you can find your friends and start a party. It's not like you have to search for that now.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, before, if you wanted settings, you had to dig through loads of different menus. And the one thing what bugged the shit out of me is on the old Xbox 360, every time you wanted to go back, you always press B. But when you press B on the Xbox One, it didn't take. If you was already on the dashboard, it'd start up the last app you had. So if it was a game, it'd start the game up again, and you think, oh crap, I didn't want it to do that. But now, yeah, it's so much easier. And like Kim was saying before, if you wanted to start a party and invite your friends, it was like 3 or 4 different buttons before you got there. Now you just flick it to the left, go on your friend, and press X, and it invites them straight to a party. If you don't have a party, it creates one. So it's how it should have been to start with, really. It's a lot better.
I think they should put that on the advertising on the next trailer for it. Just flick it to the left.
Yeah, flick it to the left.
Done. So yeah, it sounds like it's really good. There's not really massive stuff now, but a few little things. Something I wanted to touch on really quickly. You know how Konami has been getting like a lot of hate lately? Fuck Konami and all this.
Because they've been complete wankers, you mean?
Yeah, because they're being absolute knob rots, doing all kinds with their dodgy dealings. This come out, I don't know if they're doing PR or what, but it says here, this is from Eurogamer, Metal Gear Solid 5 publisher Konami is helping to make a prosthetic limb for a double amputee gamer based on something from Metal Gear Solid. They're making a guy with like no arms, because he's a gamer. With like, they're helping make it. It's a true story. Yeah,
it's good for that guy with no arms.
I know. 2012, he lost an arm. No, it wasn't both arms. Sorry, he lost an arm and a leg when he was dragged onto the tracks between 2 carriages at London DLR. And Konami have swept in, and they're going to build him an arm and a leg. So I don't know how much it'll cost, but it'll probably be an arm and a leg. That was a bad joke. I don't know. Mech Warrior Online is coming to Steam. That's not massive news, but
Greg will just cream his pants when he hears that.
That's why I'm doing it. Yeah, Mech Warrior Online is coming to Steam. So that's good news. Battlefield 4 players, I know there's many out there. I'm one of them. We're getting a new update in the winter, I think soon. It's called the Legacy Operations DLC, and we're getting a map from Battlefield 2, the Dragon Valley map, for free. So that was quite a good one. If anyone's not sure which one in Battlefield 2 that was, I think it started off, you had 2 carriers in the sea, then you had a big dock, and then there was just a massive valley going straight. So it's like a long, elongated map. And all along the valley, there was like little Chinese, like like it might have been Japanese, I'm not sure, like architecture, little buildings with the flags in, dotted along. Massive map, very good for jets. So we're getting that, so that's good. And last kind of little thing on the news, two more things. Wii U is getting a Minecraft.
Is it? Wow.
So yeah, that's big news because Microsoft now own it. So
well, you can imagine just about every single Wii U owner out there. That's going to be for their kids, you'd have thought. So you can imagine how many units are going to sell on that. It's going to be big on that.
Massive install base. And they said a while ago it was never going to happen. And I mean, it still might not. We've discovered this because someone at NeoGAF, this news article comes from Eurogamer, someone at NeoGAF spotted a listing on the PEGI ratings board for Minecraft Wii U edition.
Well, I can't imagine it not running it because you can even run it you can get the Pocket Edition on an iPad and an iPhone. So yeah,
so it makes sense, yeah. Because why not put it on Nintendo? And the money that they'll get, like you said, it's mostly a children's, like a children's sort of demographic. And kids these days are doing more Minecraft than actual schoolwork.
But most kids now, I don't understand. They'll just sit there and watch it for hours and hours on YouTube.
Yeah,
not even play the bloody thing, just watch it.
I mean, I know we're complaining, but how many quick looks or walkthroughs or gameplay playthroughs have we watched? But yeah, you're right. It's how can they sit down and watch it, but they just love it, don't they?
It's like Antonio from Veteran Gamers. He doesn't like Minecraft, but he runs a YouTube channel and he monetizes it. He does it for a living. But he'll make Minecraft videos because it pulls in such a massive audience.
Yeah, that's what people want to watch.
There's so much demand for it. It's unbelievable.
Definitely. Last thing on the news, Chris, this might be of interest to you as well and other PC gamers out there. There was some performance tests done on Windows 10 versus SteamOS. Benchmarks. They tested Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Metro Last Light. In both cases, Windows 10 outperformed SteamOS by a considerable margin. The example here is they put Shadow of Mordor on ultra settings on PC. It ran at 34 frames on Windows 10 and 14 frames on SteamOS.
Wow, that's a big drop.
So over half. Anyone who's thinking of getting a Steam machine that just has SteamOS on it, just kind of have to sort of bear that in mind.
It's basically a Linux-based machine, isn't it?
It's a Linux, yeah. It's their own sort of. They kind of like how like people get Android and like put their own stuff on it. It's basically Linux with like.
Is Linux open source then?
Yeah.
Can they sort of like make it to how they want it? Yeah.
Linux is all open source. Yeah. So anyone's available. Anyone can use it.
Yeah. I could make like a G40E OS.
Yeah.
Just all you do is just log into computer, it just opens Twitch. Nothing else.
The only one I know of, which is quite a big one, is it Ubuntu or Ubuntu?
Ubuntu, yeah.
That seems to be the biggest one I've heard of.
That's a popular. I'm not a super Linux user, but that's a popular one because it's already got a. Linux is all command line, but Ubuntu already has a GUI on it.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier for people to dive in and get to work.
The SteamOS version of Linux, it just opens Steam basically, like kind of like big picture mode. So they're shipping these games out on Steam, and the performance difference. I mean, you've got to think though, Windows 10 performance-wise is like the pinnacle of PC gaming right now, especially with potential with DirectX 12.
But you'd think with a Steam machine, because it's just running a bare bones Linux operating system, which is only running SteamOS, so there's nothing else using the CPU. Like with Windows, you've got it running all the windows in the background as well as your game. Why is it running so crap?
It's a very good point. You're right as well. SteamOS is just basically having Steam open, which if you're playing a Steam game, your Windows PC has open as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is literally just. It's quite strange because, like you said, the CPU load must be like nothing on a SteamOS, like fuck all. It must be mostly available for to run the game. It must literally just be the way Windows has programmed their CPU usage and where their sort of their code like takes information and processes it to RAM and stuff within the hardware. You've got to imagine now this is going to be a bit of a tricky situation for Valve pushing this SteamOS. If PC gamers get hold of this, because PC gamers are notorious for the frames. Yep.
I think a lot of it is I didn't. I was trying to read here. Are they comparing like hardware to like hardware? Because that would be a big difference maker.
I think they are, because you can install Windows. You can install SteamOS yourself.
Okay.
So I think what they've done is they've taken a machine, installed Windows 10, and then maybe made an identical machine and installed SteamOS on it, or maybe installed both and dual booted, or something.
Yeah, I'm seeing here that they ran the tests on like hardware. It just has to be with the way they're designed to run. The drivers are. If it becomes popular enough for the video graphics card companies and the RAM companies to put the money into optimizing the drivers for the Linux kernel that Steam is running around, then it might make up that difference. But if it's not getting good in and out data, based on the architecture, then it's gonna be stunted a bit.
And that's the problem. It's where does it go from here? Because SteamOS is supposed to be about PC gaming. If they're half on a game like that, imagine, and I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch, but Mordor is a pretty well optimized game. It runs really, really well on low to medium to high hardware. If an optimized game like that runs really well, imagine an unoptimized game, which is like what we very often get on release. It's just going to be a nightmare, and not only for Steam but for SteamOS owners, because those machines are like £500-600 quid.
Yeah.
And I've kind of said from the first rumors of the Steam machine that I think this is a mistake. People who are into PC gaming are not going to want a set-top box that they're not supposed to open up and mess with.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take the risk on hardware development. That's just my opinion.
Definitely. And I think part of the joy being a PC gamer is tinkering, isn't it? Opening up your computer, whacking something in.
Well, especially now, I have my two boys are finally to the point where I can tell them not to touch something, and 2 times out of 3 they'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
But when I'm monkeying around with my PC, they'll come in and watch and see what I'm doing, and I want them to see what's how things work. So it's good.
Yeah, I like that. So SteamOS getting a bit tricky. Maybe with driver updates and things, and NVIDIA support and things like that, maybe it can improve. We'll have to wait and see. So that's the news really for this week. Like I said, nothing really major to do a quiz, but a few little bits here and there, and obviously the Nintendo stuff, which we could have done a quiz on, but no one gives a fuck about Nintendo, apart from like me and Fraser, and maybe one listener.
Jason Johnson does.
Yeah, there's the listener, Jason Johnson. We haven't got his trivia this week because he's away. I heard he was on a secret mission. That's why he didn't send it in. That's what I heard. I mean, Spectre came out recently. I don't know if it's a coincidence. Maybe is, maybe he's not. Play dates and stuff that's ongoing. We know we've got a few things going on with We Are Epic and stuff. Who would like to take the reins while I go for a wee-wee?
That's where I've just been. I couldn't hold it. We've got the Halo 5 Spartan Company. So if you've got Halo 5 on the Xbox One, if you go to Halo Waypoint on the Xbox One app, or Halo Waypoint on the computers, on the interwebs, you can search for the G4T community group and send in a request to join, and then our good friend PG Tip 77 will accept your friend request on there, and you'll be part of the Halo 5 Spartan Company for G4TE. We've still got Clash of Clans and Boom Beach going. I'm surprised I've not been kicked off by Nicole on Boom Beach because I've not played it for a couple of weeks now. She's a stickler, won't she? She'll be kicking me off soon. Yeah. We've got a We Are Epic competition. That's where you send in a 30-second clip of a cool video, whether it be a funny moment, a cool moment, really skillful moment, and you think, oh, it's really awesome, I want to share it with the world. It can earn you $20 of gaming bucks, whether it be PSN vouchers, Xbox vouchers, or Steam. What you need to do with that 30-second clip is just post it on our Facebook page, which is at epic.g4t.com. Or if you don't do Facebooks, you can send the link to our very own Bongo Vasane, and he'll do it for you. And that is bongo@g4t.com. And the current quarterly competition for We Are Epic is running till the end of December. So get your entries in, and then we'll have a shortlisting panel with some judges, and then people can vote which was the best one. Car racing. We've got a few hot lap challenges going on at the moment because the G4T community loves its car racing. So for Forza 6, Bongo's put up a special loot challenge, hot loot challenge. We don't know what the prize is yet, and I'm worried what the prize is going to be because it's Bongo. And these are his words, not mine. He says, beat Bongo and win his nerd-related loot. So if you fancy beating Bongo, there you go. The track is Rio Mountain in a 1965 Mini Cooper with a max tune of E300. And last week, I forgot what it was. It's actually the PI Performance Index. So that's my update from last week because I couldn't remember what the numbers meant. All you need to do is make sure you got Bongo for sale on your friends list, and then he'll see your time on his leaderboards. The current results from what day are we on? 14th of November. Bongo is still in the lead with 47 seconds. So come on, guys, you need to pull it out of the bag. Ballbag's really close in second. Is half as well, not even 0.05 seconds behind, and Steve-O 1982 is in third. So come on, guys, you can beat Bongo. I'm sure you can. Project Cars. That's a thing on the PS4 and Xbox One and PC. So if you have Project Cars, November's track is Bruno GP, and the car is the Audi R18 LMP1. And so far, I've only got one time available, which is Gonzo's time, which is 1:48.456. So if you do a lap on there, take a screenshot of your time and tweet that to @Gonzo_FK. And the last one is F1 2015. This one is for Austria in the dry. And make sure you've got Morty1884 on your friends list for PS4 and David the Alien on Xbox One. And I think that's got another week to run, and then that finishes. Do you fancy doing Victories Achieved, Kim?
Sure, why not? And we're on to our lovely Victories Achieved. And what this entails is when you beat a game, take a picture of either the end achievement or the end credits or whatever, and insert a little picture of yourself so we know it's you, and send it to our @G4DOTCOM on Twitter. Our contact. I'm being yelled at by a 2-year-old. Excuse me. Okay, I'll be out in a little bit. You go out there and play with Grandpa and Dad, okay?
Real life, folks. It always gets in the
Yes.
Children.
Meet my lovely nephew, Tony. You want to see? All right. But I got to do something, so you're going to sit here and be quiet, okay? Can you do that? All right.
Special guest on the show, peeps.
Yes.
It's
Meet
been
my nephew,
a night
Tony.
full of special guests.
Right? All right. Are you settled? Can I finish this now? Okay. Sit here and be good. Our next contest, which is technically running now, and there's a cat fight in the background, so, it's all full of excitement right now. It currently runs from October 1st to December 31st, and you will win 20 space bucks, or 15 in the UK, for PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam. So this week's Victory Achieved for November the 11th is... Let me scroll down here. I wasn't quite prepared. OC Murphy's Law with Halo 5 Guardians. Bongo the Sane, also with Halo 5 Guardians. Pixel Theater with Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. Pilch Reed with Halo 5 Guardians. Halo must be really good. People must be liking it. We have Psycho Womble with The Walking Dead Season 1. Infected Psyche with Indivisible Prototype. Mr. Miyagi 1984 with Terminator Salvation. Psycho Womble again with Numa Breath of Life. I wonder what that one's like. And we have Scott Stubby with Battlefield Hardline. Congratulations.
Yeah, so they're the victories achieved for this week. So well done, guys. You may win something. We may pocket the winnings and go to Butlins. We'll have to see.
Pixel Theatre won the last quarter.
He did, yeah. He went to Butlins, didn't he? Did Butlins coupons or something? He was like, "No, lads, I want to go to Butlins. Fuck the games." So yeah, that was the victories achieved for this week, guys. Closing notes for the show. If anybody is interested in watching us, we do this live. I know we've got a lot of listeners, so check out live.g4te.com. Chris, are you in the show notes at all?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to read the rest of the closing notes, seeing as how you're our special guest?
I am the special guest. Thank you. So email the show at podcast@g4te.com. We didn't have any emails this week, you may recall, so please. Or you can just tweet to us if you have a short message at OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook at fb.g4te.com or epic.g4te.com. And if you want to get a Green Man Gaming voucher, check out our Twitter page for a Green Man Gaming voucher, 20% off, gmg.g4te.com. You can throw in some of your hard earned for the prize fund to fund some of these fun contests at donate.g4te.com. And of course, we always welcome reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps other people to find this great show. And why wouldn't you want other people to find this great show? I suppose then it's to me for closing comments. So I'd like to shout out the three of you for letting me tune in as a special guest. I do appreciate that there's always a seat here for me. And a shout out to Greg, even though he's not here, taking care of family business, whatever it is that he's taking care of. And I have to say something about Paris. Don't back down. The free world is not going to be cowed by these barbarians. That's all for me, Mark.
Yeah, I want to shout out CP. It's great to see and speak to you again. We don't get to see and speak to you often enough now. We used to play a lot on the 360 and miss those good old times. So it's great to see you again. And I just want to echo those sentiments to all those in Paris or those affected by the events in Paris last night. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you. Over to Kim.
Yeah, I'd like to, thanks for you guys for putting up with my gremlin issues and then my tiny midget issues and, cat fighting issues. There's a lot of issues going on at my house tonight. So, I'd like to thank you guys for, having me on here and, all our lovely listeners and viewers for having us. And important update, we are having assuming things don't fall through, which you know how that goes, we are having a Lagcast next week. It is scheduled. So, yeah, so Lousy at Gaming is back, at least podcast-wise. So, look for us there. How about you, Rich?
Shout-outs to the folks in Paris. We will not be bullied, and we are going to fuck them up. It's just the way it's going to be. Just tell it how it is. So I want to shout out Chris as well for being here. Like Mark said, don't speak to you very often enough. There was a time when every Tuesday we would hang out and do this lovely podcast. So it's been a while. So good to see you. Shout out to also Mark and Kim for showing up. So thanks, ladies and gents. And all the listeners who listen every week and Twitch viewers, Prontos especially tonight because he's been playing Fallout 4 on ultra settings.
Overachiever.
Yeah, so we've got, again, for the Twitch at the moment, we're showing Dirt. I don't know if it's Dirthead or Dirthed. Please email your corrections to noone.cares@g4t.com. I'm only messing. PG Tips, Prontoast, RCGC, and Soul Brother 1, they've been lovely and watching us live tonight, so thanks, everybody. And just thank you to the community and everybody. We had Stu Fowler on last week, so make sure you check out Veteran Gamers. They're a good podcast. We got the Same Coin. What else is there?
There's Boss Wave.
The Boss
Wave.
Wave
are a great podcast. Midlife Gamer, they've got a great podcast out there. I don't think they're part of EG Hub though. And the Gamesman. Yeah. Gamesman's got a good show. So yeah, check everybody out. We're one big family. And for all your gaming news, make sure you keep it checked right here at G4TE. I've been Richard Webster. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, and a bit more Fallout for the outro. Bye-bye.
Oh, well, I'm the type of guy who will never settle down. Where pretty girls are, well, you know that I'm around. 'Cause I'm a wanderer, yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Let's roam, I let go. place. I roam from town to town, cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 cause I'm a wanderer.